Hey y'all, it's Courtney here. Just thought I would voice over this instead of putting music in the background, just to kind of talk about my plans coming up the next few weeks to months, and then also to talk a little bit about my training. This is considered week 1 back to training. I have been kind of messing around since my April meet, not really taking the program too seriously. Cody, my boyfriend, has been doing some programming for me, and sometimes I have like plenty of time to do it, and just finishing up the internship I really didn't. So this is week 1 of back to serious training. I'm following a DUP program, which is a daily undulating progression, which basically means that I squat and bench multiple times a week. Usually people deadlift multiple times a week as well, but since I'm just recovering and just finished up physical therapy and only just recently got the go-ahead to start deadlifting again, I didn't want to push it too much. So that's just once a week, but I have a hypertrophy day, which is a little bit higher reps, lighter weights, which is what you're seeing right now. And then I have a strength day, and it just kind of changes day to day. So I'm currently lifting 5 times a week. During my internship, I really didn't do more than 4 times a week. This right here is something that I learned from physical therapy. It helps to decompress your lower spine. Definitely give it a shot. But anyway, just kind of trying to get back into the habit of things, back into the swing of things with those 5 days a week, and kind of playing by ear to see how I feel with my schedule. I've been working this last week or so part-time, doing what they call relief work, where I just pick up shifts here and there. Cody, I think, was zooming in there to show you a little bit of what we do to make it so we don't slide around on those crappy benches. We're hoping that our home gym will be set up shortly after we move, which is in a few weeks in August. But yeah, just trying to get back into the swing of things. My plans, so the Europa Phoenix is going to be in October. It's the same weekend as Raw Nationals. And part of me was wondering if I should just do Raw Nationals, but I think just between this whole deadlift setback and trying to get back into it, I'm going to pass on it. And then also, Europa Phoenix is just down the road, whereas Raw Nationals is the other side of the country. So the less money I have to spend, the less traveling, I think the happier I'll be. So that's going to be in October. I haven't decided if I want to do wraps or not. That's going to be the biggest kind of issue for me is I haven't competed in wraps for over a year, and I think they're a lot of fun. I really enjoy them, but since USAPL is majorly what I compete in, and that's not a wrapped federation, it's a sleeves. I should get used to it, but then since it's 4 weeks-ish before the USAPL Arizona State Championships in November, it's like, should I just use that as my overload phase and do wrapped? That's going to be my biggest issue in the meantime. So here's just some footage from my training. Those are both of my tentative plans. I think it's like October 15th and 16th is the Europa, and then either the first or second weekend of November is the USAPL meet that I want to do. And we'll just see how training goes, how everything feels, and then also kind of deciding if I want to cut down a weight class or not. I've always been a really comfortable 148er, and USAPL doesn't have 148, so they have 138, which isn't too much of a stretch for me. I sit at about 145, 146 in most of these videos that you're seeing, so it really wouldn't be too hard to get down to the 138. That's what I've been trying to do. It's been a slow progress for a lot of different reasons, but that will be the plan there, and then probably just try and sit at 135 year-round, because I really like how I look at 145, but it would be nice to be a little bit, more muscular, or at least look like I'm more muscular, and then just see kind of where my strength's at in the 138 class. 158 in USAPL is pretty competitive, so getting down to something that may be a little bit more within what I'm doing right now would be really helpful. Looking at these videos, you'll notice that there's a lot of different quality between the videos. That's mostly because we bought this camera that we thought was going to be really good, and it's just really not that great for indoor lighting. It just makes everything look really fuzzy and washed out. We didn't really like it, so we're trying to sell it, but we may keep it just for pictures because the picture quality is amazing, but the the video is just not that great. And then we ended up buying a new camera, a different camera that I think we'll like a little bit better. That is the A5000. So enjoy the rest of this footage. There's really not too much time left. I guess I could continue to talk and bore you guys to death about my life and my lifting, but why don't you just sit back and watch, and I'm going to go back to playing Pokemon Go. So.
Oh, that's a long video.